Hey guys, and welcome to some more Star Citizen. In Around the Verse, Season 3, Episode 2, we saw some work on the Idris' internals, and in Reverse the Verse, they elaborated further on them. Mostly, we saw the destroyed interior, or heavily damaged interior, as well as some of the soundscape and audio work for the various damage states on the capital ship, the Idris. This was just so awesome that I wanted to talk about it. So, the footage in the background is that of the somewhat damaged Idris that's crashed onto a planet. It's all live in engine. I just wanted to talk a bit about what they've done here, why they've done it, and what it's gonna give us in the verse. So all these ships that we have in Star Citizen at some point will have these internal damage states at some point. And what we see here isn't finished. It's around 60 to 80% complete, based on around 7 weeks work. They want it to look a lot more polished. They're going to do and try and R&D a few other bits and bobs to try and make it as best as they can. This approach that they've done here to the interior damage, some of it was kind of hand done. So the mesh was hand done, lots of the geometry has been placed by hand, so that it's somewhat a static approach. It's influenced by a jungle vibe as well. They not the music. They wanted a loss of control with cables and water and the destruction, looking like a jungle, or looking like the ship is trying to reclaim itself. It's like a jungle reclaiming something back from man. They have 5 procedural states of lighting and audio for a damaged ship state. So they use shaders, they use other procedural states over the top of the static appearance to make it look better or different. So at the moment, it's a mixture of these more modular static damage, procedural lighting, and these effects all put over each other. And it's possible that all of the damage may be procedural in the future, that it looks like they're working towards that at the moment, if it's possible and sensible in engine. So the type of procedural effects that we might see are explosions and fires, various lights and lighting. This could be from ship systems or the planet or any light source that's nearby. Volumetric smoke as well. The smoke and the smoke streams are incredibly impressive in the video that we can see. And water. So this is an important kind of vibe they wanted to get across. The idea of water on the ship is because of the fire suppression systems. It's very important because they're going to be very effective and reliable in the future. We already have, in modern day, pretty good fire suppression systems. So once ships get damaged and fires would break out, sprinklers and other systems that would suppress fires are likely to go on to work, making the ship quite sodden. This gives an extremely damaged ship an extra feature or highlight that we'll start to notice, and that will make it feel like, oh, this ship's gone through some war, because it's going to add to the atmosphere of the jungle reclaiming the ship. But also, you look at a very wet ship and go, well, there's been lots of damage here internally. Also, there's lots of other little bits that have been hand placed, obviously, static features like cloth, glass, small assets, but some of this will be procedural too, in some way, and obviously they're working more and more towards that. But the derelicts and wrecks and crash ships, this is very exciting. So there's going to be destroyed, damaged, and derelict ships, both in space and on the ground, that have crashed for us to explore. They refer to the totally destroyed ones and the crashed ones into the ground as husks, and apparently the process of making the ship look damaged, altering the shaders, and getting them prepped for being husks is a lot less taxing on a PC system, as there's not loads of lights and extra smoke and that sort of stuff being generated by the ship itself. It's a husk of a ship. It's a destroyed old ship, but it looks like both capital and smaller ships can crash onto planet surfaces, and we'll see derelicts, like Idris's, possibly larger ships, in space in various states as well for us to find and explore in the future. They have talked before about cutting capital ships up into multiple parts and pieces when they explode, when they get shot by certain missiles, torpedoes, when they blow up, that sort of stuff. And at the moment, for the crashed Idris, this is quite exciting. We'll have to see exactly what they're going to do in the future, but we're going to see decompressions where cargo, as well as the moisture in the air, are sucked out into space due to damage. Expect incredibly high fidelity, clever ways of making damage in capital ship battles feel dynamic and alive, and seeing capital ships break up and be destroyed in giant explosions, but their component parts of giant sections of the ship still floating away and becoming derelict effectively. But please tell me what you think of the damage states as we've seen at the moment. Do large-scale battles with a mixture of ships, these giant capital ships, and catastrophic damage happening to those ships like this excite you? Escaping these ships when something like this is happening is very exciting for me. And it's one of the main reasons, really, the capital ship battles, that I'm into Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. Or are you more of an economy player or an explorer? Do you want to avoid large military battles, capital ship battles, as much as possible? Please comment on any of my Star Citizen videos as well during August for a chance to win a Dragonfly for Star Citizen. For more information on Around the Verse and Reverse the Verse, please check out the links in the description. We have an article on the Redacted website called Info Runners that we regularly do, or Twerk does anyway, and I will have the Star Citizen news tomorrow, talking a little bit more about all that we learnt this week. You take care, guys, and I will see you in the verse.